Hey all, we are at week 10 and this is our week 10 update. I am going to give you a warning. This one is going to have some graphic explanations. Well, maybe not super graphic, but I've had some bleeding scares, so I'm going to talk about it. If you don't want to hear about it, fast forward to the end. Hey guys, so as I said, we are at week 10. Yay! God, I do not have my post. I don't know where I am. My little... Anyways, you're running with me. Remy, excuse you. I have a little guest today. Remy, you're just being noisy. So, we are 10 weeks. 2 whole hands. Yay! We are currently the size of a strawberry. There's lots of different websites that will tell you lots of different lengths, but we're about the size of a strawberry. I should really have like the actual stats. My hair, bleh, complexion is awesome. So, let's start with, how am I feeling? Nausea is getting less. Boobs are getting bigger. Complexion is getting terrible. Whoops, sorry for my finger there, guys. As you can see, I'm breaking out. It's really fun. My little sunspot or whatever this is getting darker. So that's great. I'm starting to get into the fun stage of restless sleep. Just can't quite get comfortable. Definitely getting more sleep, but it's kind of restless. Pretty much solid in maternity pants now because they just stretch the best. Like I said last time, I sit all day at work, so it's just more comfortable. So let's get to the scary shit. Sorry about my language. Scary stuff. On Tuesday, it was my daughter's birthday. We went out for dinner as a big old family, and as we were getting ready to be done with dinner, I started having kind of some cramps. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like, just kind of low-level cramps. But I've been having kind of some low-level cramps, which is normal. Sorry, phone call. I've been getting low-level cramps, which is totally normal because that can be just the tendons in and around your uterus, around your abdomen, starting to stretch out, getting room for this baby to start growing. But then when I stood up, this is where it gets graphic, so if you don't like graphic, turn away. I felt kind of like a bubble, like, I don't know if any of you women know this feeling, but when you start your period, I can always feel it. Like, it feels like a bubble in my underwear. And so I felt that and kind of panicked a little bit, but everybody was there. My parents, my ex-wife, my former mother-in-law, like, everybody was there. I didn't want to, like, panic. So I was like, oh, we're all getting ready to leave. I was like, oh, I just need to run to the restroom. I go into the restroom, and there's blood in my underwear, a significant amount, not just a tiny little spot, dark red blood. Remy, stop. Then I pee and I pass a clot. That scared the heck out of me. Super terrified, because I figured that was the baby. I figured the baby had had the most painless and fast miscarriage ever. Something had happened because it was a sizable clot. I was in the restroom at Red Robin, so I wasn't going to inspect it or look at it. I didn't even really get to see exactly how big it was, but I could tell you it was probably, spread out in water, about the size of my palm. It was significant. It wasn't tiny. So I was terrified, but I wanted to keep it all together, let my daughter have a happy birthday. As we were leaving, I was supposed to go to the grocery store. I told my girlfriend that I needed her to go to the grocery store because I had to go home. She's like, okay. And she texted me and she's like, is everything okay? And I was like, no. I immediately call my doctor, get the after hours number that puts me through to his cell phone, and I leave a voicemail. And then I start calling everybody that or texting my friends that have had babies. I'm panicking, but trying to also stay calm. And then I also posted on some surrogacy boards that I'm a part of. Some of these women I've known for 4+ years. And they were able to kind of help me calm my nerves, and tell me that it was probably a subchronic hematoma, SCH. And that how many of them had actually had a similar situation, and those babies are fine now. So it eased my fears, but I was still a little bit panicked. I took the rest of the night easy, laid down, drank water, relaxed. I never got a return phone call from my doctor, so that kind of made me upset. The next morning, I called the clinic right when they opened and said, the doctor never returned my phone call. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. The bleeding had stopped pretty much immediately, so that was comforting that there was no continued bleeding, because if it had been a miscarriage, there would have been pain and there would have been more bleeding. Thankfully, there was none of those things. I was supposed to have, so this all happened Tuesday night. I was supposed to have a regularly scheduled ultrasound on a Thursday. They said, oh, well, the doctor doesn't get in for another hour. So once he gets in, we'll let you know what to do and maybe to move your ultrasound. I didn't like that answer, so I just called the clinic where I'm supposed to get my ultrasound done and said, hey, I know I'm supposed to have an ultrasound done on Thursday morning, but do you have any openings on this Wednesday? Because I need to get in as soon as possible. And they were able to get me in as soon as possible, which was at 2. So that was kind of terrible waiting. But I went to the appointment. The ultrasound tech was very nice. She's like, okay, I'm just going to look around and then I'll turn the screen to you. And, okay, take 12. All right, and all the interruptions were totally good, though. So, let me figure out where I was. Okay, I caught myself up, so now I know where I am. I was at the ultrasound appointment. So, I'm at the ultrasound appointment. The tech told me she will look around the screen and then she'll show it to me. Of course, I know that this means that if she doesn't see anything, like any signs of life, she's probably not going to show it to me. But she looked and looked, and then she instantly turned it around. And there was the baby, moving, shaking, kicking. We saw little legs, we saw little arms, we saw fully 174 heart rate. Baby was doing awesome. She reassured me. We looked at the baby quite a few times. She took all the pictures she needed to. She was just a tech, so she couldn't really tell me any more about like why maybe the bleeding had happened. But she did tell me that she did see a little bit. There was like a black spot, and I was like, what is that? She's like, oh, it looks like fluid. Don't know what that means. I then called my doctor's or my fertility clinic afterwards and said, hey, just did the ultrasound. Baby is fine. Everything looks fine. And they said, oh, great. And I said, when will we know, though, like, why this happened? Like, when are the results going to come in? She said the results would be in the next day. So I waited till the next day. I relaxed that night. Felt much better. Told the parents about the situation because I hadn't told them about the bleeding. I didn't want to worry them until there was a need to be worried. And so I told them, I sent them the pictures. The baby was great. Baby looked awesome, was moving. Pictures of the cute little legs. I'll insert those. And then the next day, I got an email saying, everything looks great. You can discontinue with your medications. Woohoo, no more shots. And you're good to go. No answer as to what it was. So I replied back to the email. Do we have any idea what this was, why it happened, what's going on? She's like, nope, everything just looks fine. Sometimes that happens. So I'm really glad that I'm done with my fertility clinic. Little rant here. I then emailed my company that I work with and told them how upset I was with the fertility clinic and the fact that this isn't the first time that I've just kind of felt like a brood mare. I'm just the person holding the baby. I'm not their patient. I'm not the person paying. They don't really care a whole lot. They just wanted me to get off their roster because at 10 weeks you switch over to your OBGYN. And I was at 10 weeks exactly. So I was not too happy about that, and I let them know because that's not the way that you treat people. So now in a couple weeks I have an appointment with my OBGYN. Since this has happened, that was about a week ago, I'm feeling fine. No continued bleeding, nothing, my symptoms are still generally the same, nausea comes every once in a while, boobs still hurt, so everything seems to be okay, and we're just continuing on with that, especially because there's been no more bleeding, and I've been off the hormones. So, I thank you guys so much. Sorry, this was kind of a cluster of, videos. Yep, there's that pregnancy brain. But if you guys like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. I'm going to be doing an upcoming episode with my daughter, kind of interviewing her on what she thinks about surrogacy. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe so you know the next time we do a video. Like I said, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day, week, time. Yeah. Bye, guys.